Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. It's Monday the 10th of February and we have new mods, some epic mods. We've got a couple of updates, a couple of geos, the Seasons Kansas by Modhub Modding and Seasons Geo South Bohemia by Z84. Both those geos have had updates. We have a new geo out today. Seasons Sussex by MissyB, and it's designed specifically to work with Sussex Farms by Alien Jim. So 2 updates to geos and a new geo. As for mods, blimey, North Modding Company are not disappointed at the moment, are they? We've got a pack. We've got a pack and a trailer. But in front of me, and this is very important too, and it always worries me when something big and something with loads of gear in it comes out. Smaller mods sometimes get overlooked, and it's easy to do, but this is significant. This is significant. This is a front lifter by Peppe978. This is a front 3-point link, and it's designed for tractors that don't have a front 3-point link. Now, I used this one on Marwell Manor, the little armour track, and I love this. Brilliant bit of kit, but it doesn't have a front 3-point link. There are a few of the smaller tractors that don't have a front 3-point link. Oh, you know what? I didn't try it on. Just suddenly dawned on me. I'll check that in a minute. So the point is, this comes on a pallet. It has its attachments. And you get your little tractor, or your tractor without a 3-point link, on the front, like so. You got yourself a 3-point link. It seems like a small, silly little thing that you'd think, so what? That's significant. That really is. You know, I've found numerous times on smaller maps when you're running smaller equipment and you've got smaller tractors and you haven't got a 3-point link and you want to hook something up and take something on the front, you think, oh, if only I had, you know. I think that's a big thing. Personally, just bear with me 1 second though. Okay, I'm going to use that word. I just nipped off to test something. Game changer. This is a game changer mod. I don't care what anyone says. Look! ART. Front 3-point link. Oh! I tried it on the T9. Works perfect on that. It didn't work on this. I think because this has got a much bigger front weight on it, it won't kind of fit on there properly. So you might want to have a bit of a play around with some of the bigger tractors, but the bigger tractors and the tracked ones that generally speaking you can't or don't have 3-point links on, it works. Look. That's amazing. How cool is that? See what I mean? Something small like that by, you know, Peppe978, you look at it and think, okay, fine, you know, I tried it on the armour track and I suddenly thought, hang on a minute, we do have a few tractors, these bigger ones, that don't have front 3-point links. And that is big. That's big, big, big. Love it. Like I say, we have got a few, but I'm thinking, just having checked the the Fendt 900 Vero, because it's got the big front weight, and the Challenger MT 700 won't. I don't think the 800 will either, nor will the Challenger, because they're big, those big old weights they have on the front of them. What else might it work on? Oh, could work on the quad track. The Zerion already has one. But things like this, the 7R series, there are a few knocking about that don't have a front 3-point link. So there we go. That's not expensive either. Where are we? Sorry, I've got overexcited. I've got so much else to show and I can't believe it. Right, where are we? The Lizard front lifter, 2,500. It was only 2 slots as well. It could change your life. So there you go. That's by Peppe978, the front lifter. Bear with me. I'm going to start with this because we need this to show off the other stuff. This is the North Modding Company NMC Griffin, the mythical creature, lion and eagle and various different things thrown together. This is a cracking bit of kit. This is now the epic Griffin as far as I'm concerned. another, what to say, game changer? Maybe not. It's a truck at the end of the day. Well, maybe. But the options available on this, I'm telling you now, I'm going to miss something. I will miss something. Please don't post, oh, you know, he's losing his touch, he keeps missing things. There is a lot on this. Trust me. We've got this that comes with all of these, plus by North Modding Company today. We've also got this. The King Trail G4. And it's a load of like you've never seen before. Again, this has got so many options and so many controls. And in my head I'm thinking, oh blimey, I'm going to show this without missing something. Oh, that also reminds me as well. Not yesterday. When was it I did the mod review? The Pons Elephant King, also by North Modding Company. The bunk on the back, I said you could raise and lower the side tine bits. The bunk is also extendable widthways and it rocks side to side. You can tilt it for loading and unloading. I'm sorry I missed that completely. That's why I'm worried about missing stuff on this. Let's start with the Griffin anyway. It's a cracking bit of kit this. It looks amazing. There's some nice details. Look at that. That's brilliant. It's an awesome looking bit of kit. Rear trailer hitch as well. Only does pin hitches though, doesn't do ball hitches. Wow. Let's have a look at it first, shall we? Cool. Start it up. Very nice. Lights. Main beams. Everything. Wow. Indicators. Down here. Look at these. Look at these. Ready? Oh my days. This is brilliant. Inside, very nice, neat, tidy cab. Horn. It's a proper horn. We have got a plethora of options available on this thing as well. Before we even get on to look at the other things. So, where do we find it? Under trucks. So, the NMC Griffin S730, 180,000 to buy initially. It's 38 slots for the truck, but in all honesty, the sort of slot counts we've got for a lot of the trucks these days, it really doesn't seem to be a lot for what you get. We can change the rim colour. I've got it on chrome at the moment, but you can have silver and gens, and you can work your way through. There's a whole load of options on that. We can change the main colour. This will change the main body of the vehicle, like so. Now this is another one of those ones in the console Modhub. For some reason you have to bounce back around through the options. For some reason every time you click on something it resets itself. I'm not quite sure why. Design colour, if I change that to something that stands out, let's go with orange or yellow say. Nothing happens immediately, but you'll see as we go through the options what it is that actually changes. So we've got configurations. Configuration 1 is as it is now. Configuration 2 puts that bar at the top, and you can see the design colour is the additional bits, the bar at the top with the lights on. Option 3 puts the kind of hazard light bar on the top as well. 4 puts the grille but takes the light bars off. 5 gives you a small bar down the bottom with some spotlights, so you can have any configuration you like, whatever you fancy going with. 6, I couldn't work out what changed on 6. I'll be totally honest with you. Let's go back to 5. I couldn't tell any change. 7 puts a little chin spoiler down the bottom. 8 gives you kind of everything, top bar, spotlights and the main grille. 9 gives you all of that plus the hazard bar, light bar at the top. 10 gives you spots top, spots bottom. 11 gives you both of those and the hazard lights on the top. 12 chin spoiler and top spotlights. 13 chin spoiler, top and hazard lights. Okay, so we're up to option 13. I'm just going to tell you now, there are 30 different configuration options. It will take me ages to go through them all. I would suggest get on, if you haven't got to buy one, but you flick through, see what's available. If we go to 14, like I say, everything changes, but there are some further through towards option 30 which are incredibly important. So I'm just going to skip through. Not going to explain each one because there are so many different choices. This, at option 24, is where things get interesting. We've got a front 3-point link. Now, it's only ever been the black sheep modding trucks, I think, up to now that we ever had them on before. I'm trying to think. But yeah, front 3-point link. And we can go through a whole load of options then with the front 3-point link and spotlights and chin spoilers and, you know, all sorts of options with the hazard lights on the top, like I say, chin spoilers. But so this will take us right away through to option number 30. So there are a few available. Right, wheel brand. We've got the option of Lizard or Nokian, and then we got the wheel setup now. So we have a 4x4, 6x4, 8x4 6x2 4, 6x4 4, and then back to the 4x4. I think that's the one I went with. I don't know why, I just quite like that. Now we've got a lot of options on the top front. So we've got the we can have like a, I suppose, streamline kit that takes the off towards the trailer if you've got a larger cab on the back, that kind of trailer on the back, sorry. We've then got option 2, which gives you these Michelin men at the front. Option 3 takes those away. What did it add? Oh, puts the visor over the windscreen. Option 4 gives you the Griffin across the front if you want that as well. Option 5 gives you, what does option 5 give you? Oh, a mirror on the windscreen. You can just see that there. Option 6, and this goes through. So we got option 6, we've got option 7, we've got option 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, or 12, and then back to standard on top front. So there's a few different options available on that. Engine setup, 520 horsepower. We can go 580, 650, 730, which is rather impressive. And then decals, we've got the option of standard, decal 2, and I love the design of that. I think that's really, really cool in there. You can't change the colour of that, it's black on whichever one you go. Decal 3 gives you a couple of Michelin men down there on the front. Decal 4 changes the Michelin men, they're still there but a slightly different version. 5 gives you the side decal and one set of Michelin men. 6 gives you the side decal, the different Michelin men, and then we're back to option 1 again. So a few options. What I'm going to tell you now is when we come back out, things are going to look considerably different. When I came to edit this video, I had a whole chunk of the video missing because I did it in little stages. And yeah, so I've had to reset, and I've only got out the bits I want to look at now, and then later on in the video it will drop back into where I was previously, so I do apologise for that. It will make sense in a second. So there are a ton of options on this to look at, and I think for 38 slots that's pretty good. So coming back out, you see how things have changed somewhat. We have got the options on the back. So we've got the heavy haul fifth wheel attachment, we've got the hook lift next to it, next to that we've got the timber bunk, and then next to that we've got the wood chipper. The fifth wheel attacher does exactly what it says on the tin, if you can get on it without breaking everything. Hooks up nice and neatly, no issues there. Each one of these backs does have a trailer hook. Which becomes more relevant because if I unhook that and drive forward, the trailer, the actual truck has a trailer hitch. You'll see what I mean in a minute. If we hook that up, now what's great about this is if I do L1 and my right stick up and down, I can move that fifth wheel. So depending on what trailer I'm using, from whatever modder, whatever pack, whatever it might be, I can adjust that perfectly to give me the distance I need for it all to work really, really well. That's a nice feature and a nice touch. I like that a lot. Very, very cool. So I'll go through the prices and I'll go through all the options and stuff in a minute once I've done this and the hook lift, because these are the two that are the easiest ones to look at. The other two are going to be a little bit more complicated, and like I say, I have mentioned it already, I do apologise, this is for the time this is taking. There are a lot of options. The hook lift is a hook lift. Now, trailer attached on the back here, but when we hook on, you'll see that the actual hook lift section comes way back further than the back of the trailer, the truck. So that's where the trailer hook is normally. So what they've done is, not each of these attachments, we've got a trailer hitch on the back as well. So when you do put your back on, you don't lose the trailer attacher. It's a nice touch, nice feature, I do like that. This operates the same as any other hook lift attachment. I have tested this with a couple of hook lift backs and I haven't had any problems with it loading or unloading. I've driven around in circles, I haven't had any movement or anything like that. That said, that's not to say you won't. It depends what combinations you may use. You might use a slightly different pack to the one I used or tried it on. It might be the one they're full. You might have some problems, but as it stands, it all seems pretty secure, pretty good. Nice smooth animation, works really well. I like that too. These, like I say, I went in for NMC. I just find it easier to find them. The heavy haul there is 3,500, and it's only 7 slots to add on to that. And then we've got the hook lift there is 10 grand, and that's 9 slots. On the hook lift we do have the option to change the main colour, so you can choose anything you want to put that on to match up with whatever colour scheme you're running. That's entirely your choice. Okay, so moving on. Next up we've got the timber bunk. Same thing, has a rear trailer attacher because this hangs off the back as well. This and the wood chipper have the EPS cab crane attachment type thing on the back of it, and we've got a few options here. Top left hand corner, when you change tool, when you go between a vehicle and a trailer and multiple trailers, this will work exactly the same as on other vehicles and other mods. At the moment, if I switch now, I'm on the actual truck itself. If I go on to option 1, we are on crane, and the crane will operate. I'm not going to go through all the operation on the crane because it works like a lot of other cranes do and a lot of other bits of equipment. Needless to say, it works. Has quite a long reach. The great thing is having the trailer attached on the back of this as well means if you do use a log trailer, this puts the crane right in between the two, so you can load up this one and you can load up a trailer as well if you want to, which is great. If I do L1 and X, that puts out the stabilisers and raises the cab up, so you've got a better view. And if I change view, I can go from in-cab on the truck to in-cab on the crane. Now I've got L1 and I'm moving the crane, but if I just take my finger off L1, I can then just move my vision around. No different to any other vehicle. Nice detail. The cranes, I like any cranes, they take a lot of practice, and you know they do work, they just do take a bit of time to get used to. If I now change tool again to option 2, I can adjust these bunks. If I do L1 and my right stick up and down, I can move these bunks around. Now I'm doing side to side, so up and down, side to side on my right stick, L1 and right stick. I can move that front section. If I now do right one and right stick, I can move the other ones. So I can adjust these to suit any size logs that I happen to be using, which is exactly where you need to be. The one thing I will say on the options on this, you can't have it without the crane. So if you wanted to cut longer logs, you're going to need to have a trailer on the back of this for the longer logs, and this one would go up to, I reckon, 6 or 7 metres, maybe 6s, because the crane would be in the way, wouldn't it? Maybe 6 metre ones you'd get away with on this. Now if you detach this, like so, the crane won't work on its own. It has to be attached to the truck. If I go up to this now, that I can't enter this, I can't get in this without that being attached, so you have to be on the truck. That would be quite cool actually if it could have been separate, so you could drop that off, go off and do other stuff if you needed to, but you could have a logging operation where logs are being brought to this and the crane operator could then just be working on this without having to have the truck there. But that's not the case. That's you do have to have the truck attached. But yeah, not a bad bit of kit that. What we'll do is go into an NMC again. So the timber bunk's 20 grand. and I think I already said that's 16 slots. We can change the design colour to anything we want, like so. That changes the crane colour, and then we can change the main colour, which changes the rest of it. If I switch now and go down to design, it won't let me come back up on the PlayStation to the other control. If I go down now, if I try and go back up, it won't let me go back up to do the design colour and main colour. So I have to come back out again, come back in, adjust the design colour and main colour first. If you're going to do that first, then come down to design. You can have it standard with 2 bunks, or you can add 2 more bunks, which is the one I went for. So you've got 4 that are all adjustable. Standard just comes with the 2. So those are your options available. Nice bit of kit, nice addition, which brings me on to the last one, which is this. I'm trying to think when I did the other bit of recording whether or not I covered the cost and stuff. I'll do it now, and if this bit's edited out, you won't know. If it's still in, it's because I didn't have it on the other bit. So the wood chipper, it's 90 grand. It's quite expensive considering there are trailed ones which are cheaper, which begs the question, why would you necessarily use this one? I thought if it was going to be a lot cheaper, like 40 grand, that would be a no-brainer. You would use this every single time without hesitation. That's not to say it doesn't work. It does exactly what it should do. Options available, we can change the design colour, which changes the crane. Main colour, which changes the bulk of it, so you can take it off the gens colour if you don't want it on the gens colour and go for something like that if you want to. That's entirely your prerogative. Those are your options. Right. Let's hook up. And as soon as I've hooked up, I think we're going to be back onto the previous bit of recording, so everything will change again in a moment. So that's the whole thing packed away, and it looks fantastic, and I love the idea. Unlike the timber bunk, this can be operated without it being attached onto the truck, so you can take it wherever you're going, drop it off, and it's an independent wood chipper, which I think is brilliant. Like I say, the price is just a little bit up there, so you might think to yourself, well, I could just get a normal one and tow it and drop it off. But anyway, that being said, unfolding it, as we just saw, works like so. Pipe out, L1 and down on the D-pad, opens the crane up. You can start the engine on this. Separate engine because it would need to be if it's off the truck, and then we can turn on the wood chipper. All of these operations can be done, like I say, off the truck. Turn that off. Stop engine. If we change options, we can go to the pipe itself and just adjust the pipe if we want to adjust the pipe. That's by changing tool. We're on number 2 now. And then we can go onto the crane on number 1. So, yeah, it's bonkers. But if I detach now and come out of the way with the actual cab itself, this, you can get inside, turn on the engine, and all of these operations, I can fold everything away, do everything exactly the same. What I love is you can put the beacons on as well, so you can have this independent, but everything works without it being attached to the truck. It's brilliant. It's a cool bit of kit. Like so. And then if I switch to 2, I can move the pipe back to 1 and I'm on crane operation. Options available, I can change to that view there to operate the crane if you want to, or you can do it from outside. You don't have to be inside. But yeah, very, very cool bit of kit. Very nice indeed. I apologise if I seem to be rushing. I'm very conscious of the fact there are a lot of options, a lot of things to get through, and I want to show everything. This pack is incredible. That's the NMC Griffin. I mean, that's the Griffin pack. I mean, it should definitely say pack. So you get the truck with all of its options and the 4 different backs on it. The heavy haul, the hook lift, the chipper and the timber bunk. The other mod out today from North Modding Company is the King Trail G4. We're going to need the Griffin. We don't need the Griffin, we can use any truck for this, but we're going to need the Griffin, or I'm going to need the Griffin because it's the only truck I've got out at the moment. We're going to put the 5th wheel attachment on, which I'm probably, again, I've dropped in a horrible position. If I've missed anything on any of those options, I'm really sorry, and I know I rattled through. I didn't want to go through all the crane operation and arms because on various different mods we've looked at in the past, the cranes work in exactly the same way, but this is a little bit like the, I always say Godhofer, I always get it wrong. Right, so we hook this up, and the great thing is, like I say, because the 5th wheel is adjustable on the truck, if I go to that, I can adjust that forward and backwards. I don't want that too close because I want to be able to turn, so I can move that out to whatever position I want. I can unfold that. Unfold it back onto the truck, unfold it to put that 5th wheel down. Right, so this is incredibly long. Again, we've got lots of options to change the tool because we can go onto this one here. That is our attachment on the back. The next one we go to is now the trailer itself. But if I press detach now, that detaches the whole trailer. Great, no problem at all. Hook back up. If I go to the next one and press detach, it detaches that section and leaves this behind, which is fine. At the moment that doesn't look too great because I've left that all over the place. But it does mean you can drive vehicles on this way. You don't have to come right over the back. I've gone with the option with ramps, so you can come over the top if you want to. It's got this big old dip here, so things like Scorpion Kings, any kind of vehicle that's got big old chunky wheels, if you want it to kind of stay in place for all intents and purposes, they can kind of sit in there very nicely. It does have at the front here as well, again trying not to miss anything, we do have straps at the front here, which we'll look at in a second. But so you can separate that out, but you don't have to if you don't want to. Let's hook that back up again, like so. Right, if I say low, unfold or fold, this widens it up. So for wider vehicles, if you look now, if I press that L1 and unfold, it puts those away, so it gives you a slightly narrower trailer. If I do it again, it opens them out, so you've got a little bit more room for something a little bit wider, something bigger with tracks, maybe a harvester, those kind of things, which is a nice feature. If we come right to the back here, we have got, I can't get these right, L1 and up and down on my right stick will raise and lower the ramps, but we can also adjust the trailer height as well. Oh dear. Right, so that's that. If I do this now, I'm still doing L1, but I'm doing my right stick side to side. We can raise and lower the whole thing. So if you're going over rough ground, you can raise the whole lot up out the way, or you can drop the whole lot right down. Now I had it quite high a minute ago, so when you detach the whole front section, this will drop a lot lower, but you can raise the whole lot up out the way. For those hard to reach places, that's a nice touch. Like that. If I go to the front, if I get this right as well, is it R1? It's got the right attachment. No, not that one. Right, so the front bit that I can detach, if I now do my L1 and go side to side, I can raise and lower the whole front section as well. Sorry, I know it's a whole load of different attachments, like an airbag I think is the way of looking at it. So we come back out with the back raised, we can do that, go to the back, raise that as well, the whole lot comes right off the ground. So for rough terrain, that's brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Back to the main cab, back to the rear attachment, back to the trailer. Right, okay, so now we switch back. Fasten and unfasten tension belts. We've got tension belts in the front there for putting things on. Trying to think, what have I missed? We have got a beacon on the back. I don't think I've missed anything. The whole thing raises and lowers. those bits open and close to give you a wider thing on there. We can detach the whole thing. Actually, what I will do, let's lower it all back down. Lower that down, go to the back, lower that down, then detach. No, wrong way. Then detach. There we go. So that's much better then for loading on, because I've lowered all of that right down. That's now much lower to the ground. With that raised right up, the whole thing's at a bit of a funny angle. So you can either come on from the back, on from the front, however you want to do it. I'm just checking on the Modhub. I don't want to miss anything. Tension belt support, steering axles, colour configurations, extend the lower load pan. Yep, we've done that. Lift and lower of trailer. We've done that. Right, as for the actual vehicle itself, or the trailer itself, we will find this. Well, I went in for NMC again, but you'll find it under low loaders. If we go across and we go to low loaders, I've got a few in here actually. The NMC King Trail G4 is just there, 26 grand. This is one slot, it said, right from the outset. We can change the main colour, 20 of those, whatever you want to go for. If you wanted to go for a bright yellow. With ramp configuration, you can have it standard, like so, or ramp mounted. I think if you go standard, actually I haven't tried that. You have to come on from the front, or potentially the ramps will come out. You know what, I'm going to get one like that. Let's lease one. I can't leave that and not check it. So those are your two options. You can change the main colour, you can have ramp mounted or standard. So, coming back out, bear with me a second, we'll go to the one we've just got and we'll check, because it might be they're stored and they come down, or it might be if you go for the standards you don't have the rear mount ramp option. You will have to come on from the front, potentially, but we're going to check that just now. I'm sorry this is taking so long. Right, so if you go for the standard version, it doesn't have ramps. It doesn't have ramps in the back that kind of appear from out the sides or the back or anywhere. So you would have to detach from this section here, drop it down and then come on from this end. Whereas with the other option, having the ramps at the back, you can come on from the back or on from the front, whichever way you'd rather do it. And that is it for the mods for today from the epic and mythical Griffin. And the NMC King Trail G4 by North Modding Company, the awesome front lifter by Peppe978. Today has been, yeah, I mean, these game changer mods. I love the fact this has got so many options, 30 different options just on this section alone, with a front 3-point link potentially as well, and all the other stuff that goes with it. I mean, blimey, what a day. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.